Alrighty guys, I'm going to cut the intro short. We are looking at some potential gold buys straight up the bat, guys. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. And as always, guys, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Welcome to another edition of the London session. So we're looking at some gold buys here. We are engulfing, we are bullish, we are very bullish. Obviously the previous candle will create a minor resistance at some previous support here to the left. We are now engulfing that candle. So for me, I'm going to be likely looking for a continuation buy. So what I'll need to see is a lower wick form on the following candle prior to any entry. And if it does so, I'll be looking to place a buy stop. We'll look for an entry about 3 pips above the high. So in my broker, that would be 42.35.90 roughly. Yeah. So this candle's broken the high. It's got no lower wick. So the entry will now be above this counter high. So it'd be roughly 42.36.10. But I need more of a low wick. I need more of a low wick, guys. So we'll obviously go over the analysis. Just saw a potential option presenting very early here on the gold. Can't enter though unless it creates more of a low wick. So we'll just keep a little bit of an eye on that. Guys, you know the drill. If you could, as per usual, don't forget YouTube, smash that like button. TikTok, hit that little screen for me. Gold just making a bit of a move, really, without that just fine detail that I need, which is a lower wick prior to the entry. So still waiting for it. Nonetheless, guys, if you have any charts, any questions, anything you'd like me to go over, please feel free to pop those into the chat. I'll be sure to get to you all shortly. In the meantime, let's get underway with the analysis. Let's first of all look at the news to see if anything is scheduled or breaking. Nothing really that should have any sort of impact for our session here today. As far as schedule, we do have some ISM PMI, so manufacturing PMI. It's coming out of the US. That is 2 hours into NY Open. Be wary of that if you are trading into the NY Open, into the NY session. You obviously have to keep an eye on the news. So no entry, guys, no entry for me. Gold has unfortunately popped up with that at low wick, but never mind. We will now go over the analysis. And what a big Friday it was, guys. I wasn't on stream. It was a good day not to be honest, with the CME futures going down. Now we'll have a bit of a chat about that. Also moving forward, was it a planned event? I believe it is nothing to do with a crash of servers. That's my personal opinion. I believe there's a lot more to it. I'll go over that again also once we've done the analysis. So guys, don't forget, smash that like button, TikTok, hit that screen, and let's have a look at the gold. And we're starting on the weekly time frame. What we can see is the previous weekly. As I mentioned, guys, did I or did I not mention on Monday that what the chances were if we were to break either the high or low, then there's a high probability that this would just be a pause. If it was to the downside, I think there was a high probability we would have ended up closing a bearish candle. Broke to the upside very early into the week, and we closed a very strong bullish engulfing candle. Current candle already has a high low, higher high. What we're going to do is mark in the current daily / weekly low, and we're going to see what we got below that point. We'll also mark in a high. We do know we're at that all-time high resistance yet again on the higher time frame here. Daily, obviously high lows, higher highs. We'll still have the momentum, still have the volume by the looks of things to the upside, and I do believe there is a very high probability that price will once again come up to retest the all-time high back at that 43.81 region. Doesn't mean it's going to happen today, but I do believe at some point it will happen. Could be this week. Onto the 4 hour time frame here, and what we can see is we're definitely bullish in structure as well on the 4 hour. So everything is to the upside. We have just pretty strong closure on the previous candle right at the high of the resistance. Current candle rejecting that range below and looks to be closing right up near the high. That is also a pretty strong suggestion in my books that we could continue to the upside. Perhaps we'll grab some more downside liquidity from the support from back below that previous 4 hour range, and if we were to begin to break in a following candle, it would be some more upside. So we'll mark in that current 4 hour high. It is about to close. We'll mark in support, the most recent level, change that to gray, and we'll make our way down to the 15. We won't mark in resistance just yet. We'll mark that in on the M15 time frame. Speaking of, here we are on the 15 here. Let's go back to the file just quickly. It is the lowest point of any bullish candle. As per the video I upload to both YouTube and TikTok, have to be the lowest point of any bullish candle for this to be the lowest point of the zone on either the 4 hour 15. Anyway, what we can see is within the current daily candle, we have formed resistance at 42, 45, 70. So we are bullish. In my personal opinion, we are bullish here on the 15. And to be honest, technically speaking, closure below this week would confirm a structure flip, but I would just say anything above this resistance at the current daily candle's low, I would still call bullish here on gold. So therefore, my bias is definitely only to be looking for buyers today. As per my rules on a Monday, in line with the strength of that previous weekly candle, in line with the actual bias itself, which is 4v0 to the upside here. So for me, my options today are going to be for buyers. Well, that's what I'm going to be looking for. Now, I'm going to give you multiple options here. So unfortunately, the first one was correct. Analysis spot on, made the move, just lacked one minor detail, no lower wick. You guys know why I prefer not to take an entry without it. It's a good chance it could have come back to create it. It so happened to be that it has not. But in the meantime, what I want to see is price pop up to the resistance formed at 42.46, 42.45. I want to see it trigger in some sell pressure, trap the sellers, close back above that resistance, and then look to buy it back up to the daily high slash obviously Asian range high. So the back of that note, that's where we'll be looking for currently a potential buy if we do pop up to that level. So just mark that in, buys above. Now further options here on the gold, obviously continuation buys above 42.56. We're not going to worry so much about that in a minute. If we do in fact pull back and it's one of these two levels, either to 42 30, 42, 32, that sort of region, once again form some support so long as the move down is a clean one. So let's just say, for instance, we pop straight up to this resistance, begin to reject, come down quickly, form support above that zone again, then I would look for a potential buy. But we don't want to chop about just now because it's just going to make it difficult to look for any clean entries. So buys above the support at 42, 30, 31.50 roughly. And obviously, whoops, the wrong text box that I need, the wrong text. One moment, there we go, buys. And buys upon the pullback yet again towards the Asian range low. If we did in fact sweep below, not a problem at all. I would be looking for support to form back around that level and look for a potential buy. So that will look somewhat like so. And that is pretty much the plan moving forward for me on the gold. Hopefully it does make sense, guys. Make of that what you will either way. So that will look a little bit like so. Yeah, very bullish here on the gold. I'm assuming some of you, or probably a lot of you, already in some gold buys. Well done if you are. And that is the gold. Let's have a look at GJ chart I sent in. Here's one I prepared earlier, as they say, for the members group. GJ for me is a little bit of a mixed bag. We do have the weekly closing back, quite a strong bullish candle in the previous weekly. Current one has pulled back quite significantly already into the first day of the week. So therefore, off the back of that, normally I'd be looking to play in line with the strength for the previous weekly, but considering the strength of the current daily candle to the downside, which is also with probabilities being to the downside, lower high, lower low to the previous, although we are at some support, I don't mind sell options here in GJ as well as the buyers. What I would look for though, if you're not currently in a sell, I think you just need to wait for it to create a clean move down, pop back up, reject 205, 750, that quarter psychological number, and look for a potential sell, or pop back down to 205, 50, 450, that sort of region, and begin to bounce off that level, close above the resistance, local resistance at 205, 850, and there could be a potential buy option on GJ. GU shooting the bed as we speak. Bias is more bullish though on GU. Previous weekly candle closed very strong bullish candle. Let's just quickly look at the daily time frame here. Daily candle probabilities, well, still not bearish. Well, in the previous two candles have closed bearish. The current candle though, open with a gap down, as it's an inside bar candle, not a great deal of volume so far. We have tapped into some resistance on the previous daily candle only to respect it. For me at GU, I would preference the buys, to be honest. And I'd be looking for buys from the current support or upon the right confirmation, or buys above the resistance at 132.340. Would also now consider seeing a 15-minute structure. No, it's still bullish, so I would not consider it. Only buys on GU. That is a quick wrap up of proceedings here today. Hopefully it is understood. Feel free to ask questions and I'll get to you guys in the chat just now and see who have we got on the stream. Tony Gold, g'day to you. Yep, new week, let's go. Carl, yeah, unfortunate, no low wick, but the plan absolutely spot on. Just so happens to be it sometimes. Doesn't quite tick the box. Franco, good morning to you. KWS Multimedia, good morning. Yeah, let's have a good one. Paul, g'day to you. Mission to sign into Craptune. Really? Yeah, I wonder what that's about. Lawsy, g'day to you, my loyal YouTube member. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great weekend. And same for all of you. But big ups to you, Lawsy. YouTube member and VIP member. That's a commitment. That's yeah, appreciate it. Candy Cane, g'day to you. Lau, good morning to you. Now, TikTok, welcome to the 40 plus of you on stream, the 3 new followers. Don't forget, guys, if you're not already following, make sure to do so. Let me have a look through the chat. DP77, bullish or bearish? I'm bullish on gold. Tyree Thielen, I think gold will go higher. I do believe there's a higher probability of it going higher, but it may pull back before it goes higher. Remains to be seen. Mercy, Friday London session was crazy. Yeah, I saw the whipsaws all over the place. When I had a look at the chart, when one of the members mentioned that there was an issue with CME futures going down. So I'll get to that shortly. Just have a look through the rest of the TikTok chat. That was a deep retracement, Cram. Yeah, but a strong bounce off. It's in a strong uptrend, so it's often what follows. Michael, g'day to you, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, what is it? Bias bullish. Goldman, g'day to you. All right. Quickly have a look at YouTube again. Can you explain the drawdown from 56 and further drawdown to 4912 daily open in terms of accumulation distribution? Can I explain it? Well, no idea what caused it. It's just natural price action, I believe. For me, in terms of accumulation distribution, well, it's obviously a level of lines up with some previous resistance here to the left. So these levels, previous levels, once you break above them, you break through the ceiling. What tends to happen is price pulls back down to it, and it forms that support and it creates that floor back above the previous ceiling. So what that's likely has meant is that price has pulled back down to grab that liquidity, create that structure to form that floor, grab this at support in order to make another move back to the upside. So it's just natural price action in my belief, just following structure, so on and so forth. And it's just it's a good thing in regards to if it is to continue bullish. In my personal belief, that's all. It's pretty much just all I've got to say about that. In regards to the CME futures shutdown last Friday, guys, mark my words, that had nothing to do with a server crash. They have 3 of the most powerful systems. They have 2 backup systems. There is absolutely no way if it was to crash, it would crash for 10 hours. There is just not a chance. It would crash. If it was to crash, it would crash for like a minute and be up straight away. It was to do with a lot to do with the big banks, the bullion banks, trying to cover their short positions and get out of their short positions, because silver, with natural progression, begun to absolutely pump. Silver pumped to an all-time high yet again on Friday. So that's what caused the disturbance in the CME futures market. You might ask them, why did gold also stop and some other assets? because if silver is the most heavily shorted commodity, the most heavily shorted asset class in the world by the big banks, the bullion banks, the major banks all around the world, sovereign banks, they are all heavily naked short silver. If you don't believe me, you can look it up. It is the most heavily shorted asset class in the world, followed by platinum. Gold, I think, is third, possibly copper and palladium, in that sort of order. And when silver goes up, and there is only so long, I've been talking about this for how long now, guys, that they can hold it down. And when it goes up like it's been doing, they need to try to get out of their positions quick, smart, because some of these banks are going to go under. It's fact. You watch. It may not. They'll obviously, the governments will come and bail out, or the banks, federal banks and reserve banks, so on and so forth, will come and bail out the major players, but some of these smaller banks will disappear. And it's a lot to do with this big naked short position on silver, plus the fact that demand for it, not from just, you know, manufacturing side of things, but also from investors, also from sovereign nations, and failure to deliver also causes a disturbance. Obviously, demand supply, the rules of demand supply, there is just not near enough silver to meet with the demand, so naturally prices are going to continue to go up. Apparently the float coming out of London is basically they do not have anything to cover any positions at all. Anyone who wants delivery, takes the option of delivery on their physical silver, any decent amount, they're just in absolute trouble. Back and forth between the Colmex and the London bullion exchanges. Name is just, I've just lost it, to be honest. Not the Colmex is in the US. Anyway, LBMA, sorry, LBMA, that's the one. It's frantic between those two, trying to cover positions. But yeah, just keep an eye on it, guys. It's nothing to do with server crashes, I guarantee you. Nothing to do with server crashes, so expect volatility. Going to be what I believe is going to be a pretty crazy week in the markets. So we just need to tread lightly, be careful. Once again, just follow the plan to a T, and we will be all right. Hope you guys had a good weekend off the back of that. And that's my 2 bobs worth. It took, should go pull back to create small. Yeah, hold on, should do pull back to create small BR trap. Yeah, I think you may have just, might need to reword that, mate. Naji, will it go up again? It's been going up for how long now? Gold is up. Yeah, trading platform. Mike Broker. Type in the chat. Very happy with them, but there is a class action against them. I personally not joining it. Wax. What's my bias? I think it's pretty obvious by these arrows, my friend. I'm very bullish on the gold. Brian. I think it's going to go down a bit, then go up. Could. RG is 4,250, a resistance. It's a psychological number. Let's have a look at a 4 hour. So we closed week bearish. So look, if I was looking at the 15, I'd be looking for a buy as it breaks the 4 hour candles high. If that was the 15-minute time frame. So weak bearish candle suggests a grab downside liquidity. If I was to use the fib, it definitely would have closed above the, or around the 0.382 from top to bottom. So therefore that would, you know, give me a confirmation, look for an impulse entry as it begins to break. But looking at the 15, I'm not setting a buy stop just above that level. I'm going to patiently wait to see how price reacts or how we approach that level. Angel, is that a breaker structure? The way I see it, we're very bullish. Still bullish in structure on the 15-minute time frame as well. The way I see it, technically speaking, we need to close below that wick to confirm a structure flip, but I'm just considering this whole level of support as the level we need to close below, so therefore below this support, this is the highest point Mark got to. So I looked to the left of that and asked myself where was the last 2 or more consecutive candle pullback in the opposite direction to the impulse, to the trend, and that is obviously here. So we tapped into it, we've respected it, we haven't closed below it. Until we close below it, there is no structure flip. So for me, this is just a little bit of micro trend within the structure itself. Once again, very bullish though, personally. Sunny MCC67, will you be looking to buy or sell? I will be looking to buy. Jamo, good day to you. Reckon, what about an IC buy on gold on M15? Yeah, it's the delayed one, mate. Yeah, I mean, hasn't tapped in. Not quite. It's valid, but the only thing I don't like about these delay ones, especially when it happens this early, is the fact you got bearish counter probabilities to the downside. That's why I prefer the continuation one in this sort of situation. I just feel a lot more comfortable with the continuation interruption entry as opposed to the delayed one. One of the reasons is because I don't have the data to back it up as well. Did not quite tap in either way. Got very close to it, so we're not being triggered in. Very close to it though. Yeah, that's just something we're gonna have to test a little bit more, especially over the Christmas break. I will be definitely thrashing the living daylights out of this thing. Forextester. So again, I do have special promo for you guys if anyone is interested. Number one, backtesting software out there, without a doubt. Absolutely shits all over the rest though. Trust me. You ask my guys, how many did I go through to try and find one that worked half decent? And we finally found it. I am affiliated with the group now, well, Forextester. And they do have they don't offer monthly through their main page. You will not find it anywhere. But for my loyal viewers, they've given me a special link to share with you guys. So if anyone is interested in a monthly subscription with the promo, you get 10% off the monthly subscription. Feel free to hit me up and I will share with you all the details. Franco, thank you for asking me questions. That reminds me to share a link with you, or you guys. Also got the Black Friday sale, guys. It's still gone. It's still on. If anyone is interested in joining the VIP, you get 20% off that. Angel, all good. Wow, I think Platinum's also been, yeah, pushing pretty hard bullish. Platinum to me is still pretty good value. This thing is not at its all-time high. Remember guys, Platinum used to be more expensive than gold back in the day. Still, it's had quite a strong run up off late, but still well off its all-time high. I do believe it'll eventually get back to its all-time high. Will it ever be the same value as gold again? Not too sure about that. I also believe gold will continue bullish. Palladium's another one that is also very far off its all-time high, but obviously been pushing very strong bullish of late. Yeah, far off its all-time high. Whereas obviously silver and gold are at their all-time low, especially silver. did purchase a few more ounces personally over the weekend. Again, I just DCA, so I'm not fast drops, just getting cheaper next time. All good. And I have conviction that this thing is silver anyway. This is gold, but I do believe silver will definitely hit three digits. Could be very soon as well. Now, what's the plan? Gold bias. No name? Yeah, didn't quite tap in though, mate. Didn't quite tap in. Very close, but not quite. I doubt you would have been triggering him where you may have been. I wish you luck if you were. Well done if you are. Likewise to you. I hope you had a good weekend. Isaac, when we're looking for gold buys, either upon the pullback to support or either level of support, above 42.31 or 42.18, or above resistance 42.46.70 roughly. Let's have a quick look at the 5 minutes, see what's going on at the minute. All right, forming some nice structure to the upside. Technically speaking, it's bearish on the 5 minute here though. Not so concerned by 5 minute structure. Yeah, we just need to wait at the minute. Not Christian, do you own a whole BTC? No, I do not own any BTC. Actually, I would have some lost BTC, but it'd be... I'd like to know how much it is. It's not even 0.1, it's probably closer to 0.01 or something. I remember it'd be on OKX, so if anyone wants to find it for me. It'd be worth nothing, to be honest. It's scraps, if anything. Don't own crypto, out of crypto. Not, and speaking of, it's been melting Bitcoin again after a nice bounce. I just don't trust it. I don't trust anything digital at the minute. I'll get back into it, but just from maybe I'm a little bit too pessimistic when it comes to cryptos at the moment and equities and that type of thing. I don't want to own any equities, any stocks, any crypto, anything electronic. I don't want anything to do with at the minute. Apart from trading, even then you just need to be a bit careful with what you keep on a exchange these days, or broker. So yeah, for me, I'm staying well away from the crypto. I'd rather it completely die, get to that, you know, draw down 80% again, then I'll consider it. Might not do it. Some of the altcoins have already made massive pullbacks, but I'm more focused on physical metal personally. Camelo TP? Well, there's no entry to have a TP. So guys, don't forget to have a watch of that video I put together what's in the last week in regards to how I mark up my zones, why I mark up my zones in this way. A lot of people asked about it. There hasn't been a lot of views on it, so make sure to watch it. You definitely learn a thing or two. And you can expect a little bit more content to come out of the A.C.T. Forex social media pages. A lot of fragrance reviews, to be honest, more than trading videos at the minute. Yeah, I'm a sucker when it comes to fragrances. So have a watch of them too. Let me know what you think. Marco, thank you for the sticker. KWS multimedia, gold melts so fast. Why? Just 2 counters, we are all way down already. Here again, it's just natural price action, mate. Nothing sus. Pull back to a level of support, level of communication, accumulation, level of liquidity, and respect to that level. So to me, it's just very bullish what gold is doing. Everything about it is extremely bullish. Sebastian, great video, highly recommend viewing. Thank you, my friend. Saw your comment, glad you appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys would any ideas as to what sort of content you want, let me know. Again, there is an overhaul being done of my course. It takes time because there's a lot that has to be updated. Things have changed a fair bit. We adapt as the markets, you know, continue to change. Gold has had a lot more volume of late. My members who are either on the call, was only Laura at the minute. Anyone in the YouTube chat on the TikTok stream, once again, is education session day today, guys. So even if you can't make it, be sure to send a message into the VIP chat or DM me if you have any questions, and I'm happily going to answer them for you. And the recording will be uploaded, so don't be shy. MJ563, but it's a very regular heartbeat. You should get it checked. How would you know what my heartbeat is, my friend? No name, loving the videos on your fragrance purchases, reviews, bro. Definitely gonna have to pick some up. Oh mate, I'm such a sucker. I go past bloody, or not even past, I just look online, to be honest. It's not a good thing to subscribe to different stores, put it this way, for them to send you updates and deals and that, because it's just so easy when you sing it. So yeah, let's have a look. What's special about it today? Queen Boss Babe, did TJR give you permission to trade now? TJR? Who the hell is TJR? Mikey Lavelle, support till the 8th, resistance 9th, 10th, by number Fed cut sell, news 9, 10. Okay, fair enough. Big, obviously, a few weeks of news. Moving forward this week, there is ADP. It's not followed by NFP though. And I think that was because did they not have an unscheduled NFP only a week or so ago? So there is ADP. That is Wednesday, Thursday, just after midnight my time. So Wednesday day. You got PMI services PMI that day. Employment claims is on the Thursday, and Friday finishes up with consumer sentiment. So there is no NFP, which is unusual. Not sure why, but well, there's some sort of reason for it. Queen Boss Babe, so why are you on my stream? I have no idea who TJR is. AJ, you should try Oud, amazing smells. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest, because they come across really strong, the initial top notes on a lot of them. And I don't mind it. I suppose I haven't really tested enough of them, but yeah, I'm sure they do, to be honest. I mean, the oud wood is only found in certain parts of the world, so that's why a lot of the oud sort of fragrances are quite expensive. I think it's found in Cambodia and a neighboring country. It's not Thailand, I don't think. I think it's could be Laos or Vietnam. I can't remember. Or Malaysia, I'm not sure. Let's have a look at GJ. Still just consulting. GU. Trying to form support. Gold, let's see if price comes back down to support and how price reacts to it. AJ, no, I called a buy here, but we didn't have the low wick. So the plan, it did work out, but we just lacked one thing. I was waiting for it to create a low wick. Never did so. So now I'm just waiting for price to either come back down to support and see how price reacts to it, or the support a little bit lower down, see how I react to that, or the resistance, the most recent resistance at 40 to 46.70, and see how we react to that point. I'm very bullish. I'm only interested in buying it today as per my rules on a Monday trading line with the strength of the previous weekly candle and the bias and structure, which is extremely, everything is bullish. So that's what I'm going to be looking for today, some potential buy options. There's a fragrance review coming out later, and I don't hear anyone pump this fragrance up. It is, I swear, I think it's my favorite fragrance at the minute. So you have to watch of that. Those of you on TikTok, I will eventually upload them to YouTube as well, YouTube Reels. But it's a fragrance that I think slept on. It is a designer brand. I swear I can still smell. I sprayed it yesterday, and I can smell it. I sprayed it on this just to test it out. This hoodie, and it's still pretty strong today. The smell, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. All right, looks like we could be coming back down to test this support just now. Let's have a look at the 5 minute yet again. All right, so the 5 minutes pulled back to level of support, and we are trying to respect it. Let's just measure it. I know we've got some minor resistance here on a 5 minute, but the 15 we won't have that. Let's just measure how much margin we do have above the 15-minute resistance. Technically speaking, the resistance could be formed just now in 7 minutes if this closes bearish. We'll see what options we may have. A little bit tricky at the minute. To me, we're just a little bit of consolidation. A bit indecisive at the current level. Dean, am I correct in saying that the red candle on the M15 isn't an IC because of the massive lower wick? That next candle didn't really fill. The massive lower wick? Look, it's, wow, look at that. It's actually tapped in and bounced off it now. Oh, you're talking about this, are you? This candle, how it didn't tap in. This is the delayed interruption entry, which I'm not yet completely convinced about. Yeah, I mean, it turns out it worked quite nicely in this case. But the one I prefer is the continuation interruption, and that is let me pull up my annotation tool here. That is when the following candle, so this candle I mean, does this, taps in. So this is your confirmation, this candle here. Following candle taps in, so I have that bearish candle. There's the entry and it continues bullish. That is the one that I've tried and tested, and I am fully confident, comfortable taking every single time it presents. This one needs a little bit more work, but the results look pretty good. I mean, it's playing out again. I know No Name, you're one of them who absolutely loves this delayed interruption. So I don't take delayed rarely, to be honest. The delayed one I prefer on the higher time frames, on the 4-hour or the daily. The delayed one on the daily is really good. For instance, this one here. Which obviously one of the members, Tommy, is involved. He's still running that trade. So gold playing funny buggers at the minute, so it's pulled back to the support yet again and bounced straight off it. Going to be above the 5-minute resistance now. There is absolutely no margin to look for the buy. Let's just measure it. Yeah, you're struggling for 30 pips there. You got about 28, 27 pips once you account for spread. Sunny MCC67, what are you getting in your subscription? What are you getting in VIP? You get access to myself, you get access full access to the group, you get access to the course, the full course, plus all the other education content. It's not just the course, there are plenty of other pre-recorded educational videos. You also get access to the trade ideas section, so if I see something, let guys know prior to it. That's when I'm away from stream. If I'm looking at charts, I'm not often on the charts, though, away from stream, to be honest, or if I'm not on a members call. Members calls are between 3 and 5 times a week. I wanted to go ahead for a sim session yesterday, but no one's about, so we didn't go ahead for that. You get what else you get? Grading entries. This is a big one, actually. I've forgotten to mention that, where I go over each entry type and I grade what I believe is the most highest probability entry as far as catalyst is concerned for each entry. So that's another big part of the education. We get access to the journal, which might not sound like much, but to me, the journal is huge, because I screenshot, I go over why I took it, detailed explanation, and I attach a video as well. And that's a good way to learn from my trades, by watching the videos and updates. So yeah, you get that. There's a whole lot more you get, to be honest. It's, yeah, we jump on a call about 45 minutes to an hour after today's stream for the education session. Tuesday and Wednesday is pre and why it's like an hour after the stream roughly. Thursday, either a live market update or recorded market update. Friday, it's a bit tough, to be honest, with the time at the minute. Seeing the clocks have all changed everywhere. And then every second Sunday is for a sim session. All right, so we close strong bullish here. No low wick. There's no entry because we just don't have the margin to the upside here. So we just need to once again wait, guys. 30 minutes until session open. Let's see how price, if it does approach this resistance, let's see how we react to it. Anthony Martin in sells from 42.55. Oh, good luck to you. Yeah, I was checking out IC. Does it only let you withdraw to bank? Can't withdraw to Binance? You mean the broker? So put markets in it, at the end of that, you can withdraw to PayPal, not to Binance. It's a regulated broker, mate. Did I have withdrawal to crypto option? I don't think I do. I don't know, I always just withdraw to PayPal. So Sunny MCC 670 share trades. I don't call signals, but I do share, once again, I mention it. Great ideas. So if I'm sitting on the charts away from the stream and I'm not on the members call, if I see a trade that I like, I will call out. I did also call the potential trade prior to today's stream before the stream. I mentioned it here. What I normally do is attach a chart to it. So yes, if I'm looking at the charts when I'm not on stream and I see something and I'm going to take it myself, I always call it. But as you guys should already know, I don't fish, I don't go hunting, I don't sit on the charts for hours and hours of a day. I have a plan, I have a time of day that I do trade, and if my plan presents and I have the right confirmations to take an entry, I will happily take it. I will call it, whether it be on stream, off stream. But I don't sit there calling signals. It's not what I do. Again, I've been there, I've done that. It's agonizing. I hated it. Did well, but I absolutely hated it. Good current taxes. It's a little bit different because I have a registered business here for my trading. So obviously I'm paying myself a wage, so on and so forth. So it's a little bit different. But yes, obviously you need to pay your taxes. You need a decent account if it gets to the point, you know, where you're making some decent returns. But you can claim lots and all that as well, so there is a fair bit you can claim. Yared, I can't drop links into the chat. You'll find it, mate. Find it on my profile page. Just type in A.C.T Forex on YouTube and you'll see it, mate. It's not that hard. Again, just click on my profile on the profile page and you'll get the WAP link. I think the YouTube link, I'm pretty sure, is there as well. Snapshots 79.02. Last time price was in this region 42.50, wasn't very good. Up here again, it's just natural price action, mate, in my personal opinion. What are you talking about to the left? Yeah, I mean, for me, gold is extremely bullish. Okay, double S multimedia. Here is an M15 resistance. The price is tapped in there. M15. Yeah, it's talking about that. I focused on that level. Snapshot weeks ago. Okay, fair enough. Also be dropping some more fitness related videos as well, guys, for again more so on TikTok. Futures trading, third lower high incoming. Shall soon see. A delayed interruption. Maybe it needs more consideration moving forward. Would have worked quite nicely, but all good. Smells so good. Wow. Which pair is this? This is a golden pair. Spot gold, XAUUSD. Then you have an order in at the high doji. Since it's red for me, would see that as valid. You had an order in, or you have one in regards to the delayed interruption, you mean? How far is it closed above? Let's just measure it. Probably not, to be honest. I would want it at this stage of proceedings to be minimum about 15 pips above. That is one of the updates that will be posted in the course, the update to the course. Because of the volume here on gold, doesn't mean it won't work, but I just feel a little bit, I don't know, not as comfortable had it if it had closed up higher, stronger. You're gonna have a pretty wide stop loss, and to be honest, target there isn't that much margin to the upside. But yeah, I can understand it. The futures might look a bit different. This one here, how far above did it close? Pretty much the same. And even after that doji, still only about 14 pips or so above. So touch and go, but probably not quite valid. Kanye, you don't do futures? No, I do not. So struggling a little bit here on gold. Got still a bit of time until session open. We've got 2.5 minutes left of this current M15. Ugh. So November was a good month, guys. November was a really good month. Mainly off the back of some really big runners, to be honest, but win percentage wise also it was a good month. Really steady month. So we're looking to end the year also on a high note. It's been a fantastic year. I've not had a losing month. I've had a few losing weeks, but not a losing month, which is good. It's been a lot of quieter months as well, though. I've been away from the charts a bit. I've missed a few weeks here and there. But all in all, it's been another steady, consistent year. Again, win rate around that 8%. All throughout, so can't complain about that. The full year on stream, it's actually, it will be a little bit up from last year. Last year we ended the year, the first year of streaming, at about 79.2 or something. We're currently right on 80, so if you're doing the math, that means we're up a little bit this year. But some of the runners have been a lot better personally holding trades for longer. Initially when I started streaming, it was pretty much the stock standard, secure something at 10. let it run and go. Whereas now I'm more likely to hold some positions until I hold the full position prior to securing. Some trades it's a lot more than usual. Others still between that, you know, 15 to 20. But I've been a lot better at holding runners, so that's me personally. How about you guys? Let me know how have you gone this year? You made improvements? Are you seeing progression? It's been a challenging year for the most part because the London session hasn't been fantastic at all with gold. I've said all throughout the year, Asian session's been where it's at when it comes to gold. We've had the cleanest moves, the best moves. MY, you obviously always get moves because of the high impact news about. There's a lot of volatility about during the MY session, but it can be a little bit tricky with the news about. I also believe it's a bit tricky because you have the big bullion banks who are constantly trying to squash price back down, fighting against all the other traders, not retail trades being one of them, but not that we really have any saying things. But sovereign nations, things like that, funny against basically everyone. So a lot of the time I found that the Asian session will pump price up. London would tend to consolidate. New York, it tends to pump up initially and then dumps for a bit. That's what I have found personally. Risk and relax, the promo code, it's up there, mate. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Type it in the chat for you. Chris, thank you for the sticker. Appreciate it. Lucky, g'day to you. I did one trade today, made good profit. Nice one. I'm down 2k, so I'm assuming that's the other Lucky. You haven't been listening to Eminem D12 by any chance, have you, mate? Don't have split personalities or... So I want 1 ounce cooks for $90. Assuming you mean 1 ounce kookaburras, silver. It's hard to get anything under $95 at the minute. I paid on the weekend $93.25, I think it was. I don't even think you can get that today. Premiums are also really starting to go up because of this. You know, it's hard to get a hold of physical silver. Yes, kookaburras. BV36 opinions on EJ. Pretty much same as GJ. So I'd be looking for buys from support. Looks very similar. Let's quickly do the top down. Yeah, same as GJ. Closed a very strong bullish candle on weekly, but the current daily / weekly is forming really strong bearish at the minute. Same as GJ. Bearish candle probabilities here on the daily time frame. 4 hour structure is bullish. Have tapped into some support. Just use that, seeing it's the most recent. There's another level just below it. Onto the 15-minute time frame here, and that is bearish. So considering the level it's at, I would prefer buys, and I'd be looking to buy it above 140.50 roughly. It's the most recent resistance form within the move to the downside. For respects this 4 hour support, I'd just be waiting for price to pop above it, close above it, and that would be a good option to take a buy, in my personal opinion. Otherwise, I'd just be looking for pullback sells. This whole level to me is a level of liquidity where price could pull back to, potentially reject, and I'd be looking for some sort of price action catalyst from within that level for a sell. Dean, nice one. Happy to hear it, mate. It's actually played out pretty much the same as this. So it's not the continuation that's worked, it's the delayed IC that's worked here. All right, that's good. I'm happy to see it. That's 2 of them worked out. Not valid on the spot chart here because that's not an interruption candle. That's not a pause, it's a bullish candle. But on the futures chart, that's a bearish candle, you're telling me, so it's a valid entry. Nice work. ERB, any news today? No, nothing scheduled, not for this session. ISM manufacturing PMI into NY 2 hours in. Do I trade news? No. What for? Chris, you on YouTube? Yep, I am on YouTube as well, mate. Same profile name. YouTube, you get the full screen, you get the price scale on the right hand side. Go over, nice one. Benito, thank you for the sticker as well. All right, so gold not really doing much of anything at the minute. It's just run out for a bit of steam. So we've got just over 8 minutes until session open here. See where we're at. Have a look quickly at GJ again, coming down to the depths of that 4-hour support. Nothing below it in my opinion, because we're running straight into some more levels here to the left. GU. Wow, look at that. Which goes to show the importance of actually waiting for a confirmation, waiting for the closure, because look at the rejection now on GU. Had you had margin to the downside and this closed pretty much where it's at or just below, that would be a cracking sell, but it's just not going to be worth it. No margin. Stop loss will be more than the actual margin you have, so less than 1-to-1 on GU. I've not looked at EU today, but I'm assuming similar to GU. It looks to be lagging a little bit. Looks quite bullish, but you're not already in a buy, you're a bit late. You need to let it reset. AU, the majors are obviously all looking pretty much the same. So UJ, let's quickly look at that, continuing bearish. And Bitcoin. Alright guys, I'll be back in 1 minute. Alrighty team, what's happening guys? What are we looking at? 5 minutes until London Open. You guys are probably thinking that yourself wanting to ask me that question. For me, I'm just waiting. There is nothing I can get involved in at the minute. I need to wait for price to pop up the resistance at 42, 46.70 or back down to support for any potential options at the minute. But again, we'll reassess shortly and we'll see where we're at for session open in just under 5 minutes time. Goofy Tonsil. Is gold bullish today? I believe it is. How's the weather, guys? Those of you in Melbourne. Crazy. Summer. Welcome to summer. 15 degrees. Raining on and off all day. Freezing. It's supposed to warm up though as of Wednesday, I believe. My younger sister's wedding on Thursday, so I won't be on stream. Michael freezing, it's terrible. That honestly, oh man, went to hang out some washing earlier today and I looked at him, what are you doing? Someone came out for a minute, I shit you not, 2 minutes later it started raining cats and dogs again. But it's so wild, can't wait till Wednesday. Yeah, it's bring it on. It's been freezing. I think, didn't we have like the coolest spring on record for years? Michael, do you mean love the winter's summer's day? I can't stand this cold weather. Gobby Liao, thank you for sharing a live. All right, so we've got what I call a liquidity candle, just being confirmed here. So normally that is a really strong signal. So what we've done is we've broken a lot of that previous candle. What we had at one point was lower high, lower low. And if we were to continue bearish, there'd be no need for us to pop back up, break our own high, break the previous candle's high. There was no margin to enter. Stop loss is way too wide, so you don't have the one-to-one. Now, unless we close above this resistance, there's still no valid entry until because of the fact that we've got to get past this level. But we are pushing with some volume. So liquidity candle doing its thing at the minute. Let's see, we could have a potential option for London Open, guys. We need a decent low wick at the open. We could look for an impulse entry if this is to be the highest point. We do close strong. Has to close above the bodies. At this rate, looks like we could even close above it though. So let's keep an eye on it. The issue is going to be stop loss. Do we need a decent low wick at the open? We've got 2 minutes now until London Open. Yeah, stop loss just not acceptable based off current candle. You're looking at 90 plus pips. Not great for a scalp, especially session open. We're likely going to be a little bit volatile the first few minutes of it. So we want to close very strong. We don't want to close. We want it to close above the body's minimum, preferably just above the high. Then what I want to see is price pop back down into that range below, create a decent low wick, begin to reject, pop above the catalyst candle high, and that could be a potential entry. So let's keep an eye on the gold. What I suggest you guys do is just keep an eye on what the highest point on your broker's chart is of this current candle. Not saying set an entry, don't set an order just yet. We need to wait for confirmations. But the entry point will likely be a few pips, so about 3 pips above the highest point of this candle. So my broker's chart, it's 42, 46, 90. How high? What's the high of that bearish candle? Yeah, have to be a bit higher because that bearish candle is just a tad higher up. So 42, 40, 47. 42, 47 could be a potential entry point. That's accounting for spread. That's accounting for the high of that actual candle that confirmed resistance. Confirmations, we want this candle to close. Look, if it doesn't close above the body, if the candle to the left, then it will all come down to price action at the open. So what I mean by that is I want the new candle to pop up, break the high, pop back down, create a low wick. And if it does that, I'll place a buy stop back above the high. In anticipation, if it breaks its own high again, it's likely going to make the move. So let's keep an eye on it. We've got now 15 seconds. Are we going to close above that level? Oh, it's going to be touch and go. So if that's not the case, it comes down to simple price action. All right, we want to pop up straight away and break. Want it to break, pull back down into the range below again. Just not done it. Close. It almost broke the high and it's popped back down. It's not tick the box, guys. Gotta be strict with it. Now you got a continuation interruption, but it's the level it's at. It has tapped in the target. I did take that a few weeks ago, which worked, but yeah. Session open. It's pretty much done as a call, but it's just lacked one or two things. No FOMO, guys. Not gonna jump in. Just didn't quite tick the box. 714 Brian. London Open was just over a minute ago. Yared, you guys just look up Forex Factory. I'll tell you all here. Just depends again where you are in the world. For me, it's 4 AM technically speaking. Alright, I'll make a move. All good. All good. Again, I have rules for a reason, because they're a lot of time going to spare me a loss as well. So just didn't tick the box, got close to it. Let's look at GJ. Trying to pop below support. Nothing below that level for me. GU, nice clean move up and down. I'd be looking for confirmation for a buy. Meantime, gold. I'm assuming some are in gold buys. Chris Lambert and over. Brad, I wish it was 15 degrees, currently 42 in Perth. Mate, that's a little bit too extreme. But if I had to choose between the two, I'd still choose 40. Actually, would I? I don't know, because I'm assuming your 42 is the same as ours, where it's just really dry and you just burn within a minute or two of standing out in the sun. Yeah, we're warming up later in the week, but it's not 42. I think it's 33 on Thursday. Absolutely perfect timing. My sister's wedding on Thursday, and it's supposed to be a cracking day. So, KWS multimeter, how will I mark your 5-minute resistance? I don't mark 5-minute resistance. All right, gold pushing just now. So if anyone is in a gold buy, nice work. I would mark it the same way as I mark the resistance on 15 if I was to use the 5-minute resistance. So you have to shift that up to that point. Yeah, so maybe a little bit too strict with rules and that, but again, they're there for a reason. So it's all good for me, not at all bothered. Odette, what method of trading? Pure price action. Pure price action. I don't use indicators. It's based on a preferred bias, but I'm not always fixated to the bias, except for also on a Monday, Friday. Once I've drawn up my levels, I know exactly what sort of areas I want to get involved. Now I wait for price action catalyst to dictate my entry. So my indicators are these candles. I have different entry types. A favorite is the interruption entry, which is something that you guys would have heard about first on this stream. Which technically speaking is valid here, but I just don't like the level. I would prefer it if we close above and confirm a wipeout of this zone. If we respect it, then I really don't like it because there's a good chance we're heading back down further. Yeah, so look for price action catalysts that might predetermine levels, and within it we do have some other entries such as the interruption entry, so on and so forth. Sunny MCC 67, I buy. Do you reckon it's going up even more? There's a good chance it could end up heading up to the current day's high. Michael, you're in from 42.20. Nice one. Happy days. Benito, when should we enter for a buy? Well, again, I was looking for the entry there, but it just didn't quite tick the box. And sorry, guys. So again, I'm really strict. So personally, to take it, be a bit late. If you're not in it, I will not just jump in. It's a good chance it's going to head up still, but it's FOMO. It's pure FOMO if you try and jump in now. K-Bliss Multimedia, what of a pullback entry on the resistance, which will now be a support? Not within his candle, mate. No. Again, that's just FOMO. So again, I need to let it reset. One way of resetting is this closes above. We'll look at the delayed interruption entry just there, or wait to see our next M15 closes. But the issue is encroaching on dinner time, so it has to happen quickly. So option A will be, let's just assume we're closing like so. Option A will be, we've wiped out this resistance, limit order buy on the delayed interruption. Option B will be, so if we assume we close like this, if the next M15 pauses and closes weak bearish, tapping into the resistance only to close above it, the next option will be a continuation buy as it breaks the higher of that pause candle above resistance. Lucky, really strict but very profitable. Well, that's what's made me profitable, because in the past I wasn't strict at all. I used to just, I'd see that and I'd jump in, I'd be feeling good about it because I would have had a winning trade just now. But again, I wouldn't have had rules, I wouldn't have had any entry confirmations as such, not ones that I followed strictly, and I likely would have tried to jump back in again, got absolutely wrecked, try to jump back in again to get the money back, got completely wrecked, dug myself a hole. So the rules are there for a reason, and I stick to them, and it's all good for me. There's no FOMO, there's no emotions attached. I don't feel like I'm hard done by, or not justified if I didn't enter. To be honest, that's the level you need to get to if you want to be a consistent trader. Lucky, but would have been an impulsive trade. Yeah, and I'm not saying it wasn't a decent entry. I just had the rules, what I wanted to see prior to it, and it didn't quite tick the box. It almost did, just needs to pop up a little bit higher at the open. And again, it's just based on experience. That's why time on the charts, experience, what I see happen and what I'd like to see happen, because I know if it does happen, there's a really good chance it's going to end up in a profitable trade. Okay, it's all a mindset. Yeah, a lot of it is. A lot of it's up in the head. Emotions. It's hard to detach from emotion when there is money on. It's hard. Yeah, when there is money on the line. So, and it's pumping just now. So nice one. If anyone is currently running some gold buys, good work. Michael, you're a good trader, mate. You have good entry. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Offline, looking at GJ. What area do you want to see get tapped before longs? It's already tapped into the area. I just want it to now close above the resistance formed here at 205.840, roughly. So as per this illustration, starting to look better. And also consider themselves as per this illustration, if it does pop up back to the resistance, only to reject it again. Wow, gold. Continuing, let's have a look at silver. Yeah, not as much volume on silver at the minute. That's against the Aussie dollar actually. US dollar also pushing back up towards its all-time high yet again. Lucky I'm an impulsive trader, to be honest, since 42.45, not a lot of risk at all though. Yeah, I mean, it's also depending on your character. Assuming you're quite a lot younger than what I am. When I was younger, when I first started, I was a little bit more reckless as well. But now I obviously more mature on the charts. Offline, best analysis, thank you. All good, mate. Glad to help out. You're 18, been doing it for a month. Yeah, so you got a riskier appetite than what I do, that's for sure. And you're probably trading a lot smaller account than what I am as well. So I used to do it, mate. I used to do it, trust me. If I saw this candle pumping, I would have my hand ready, place entries. What I'd be doing is wait for it to pop back, place an entry, wait for it to pop back more, place another entry. Wait for it to pop back even more, place another entry. Then it shits the bed. And then I lost a massive portion of my account. I used to do that sort of shit. And sometimes it wouldn't. Sometimes it would continue bullish. I get lucky. But it was pure luck, basically. Lucky 100%, I do enjoy the risk. You're 100% in the way for bigger capital. Autumn, did you have a mentor when you... Yes, I did. Definitely. I'm learning. No, good lucky. Definitely. We all go through that. You need to learn. You know, crawl before you can walk. I've had multiple mentors. First was a crypto trader. Second was a swing trader who also was under the same brand as the crypto trader. He was a really nice guy, good guy, but for the most part, look, his stuff was a little bit different, but the crypto stuff was baby pips. You can't copy, nothing more. It includes signals, so I fell for it. I paid a fortune. I paid $250 US a month for about 15 months. What an idiot. I had another mentor after that I learned a lot from. Matt, traded under him for a good few years, to the point where I became a mentor within the group as well. Became an educator within the group. I ended up running that particular stream, so that was a different stream, and end up basically taking over that particular group, to be honest. So instead of doing that under someone else's name, I thought I might as well start my own, which is what I've done the last 2 years. And yeah, got my own group. Preach discipline and patience big time. That's the most important thing. It's all right to miss a move if it's not your move. It's not good missing a move if you planned it and it's ticked all the boxes and you hesitate. But I understand that because I used to do things like that too. But that will come with confidence and just seeing your, your analysis play out. And another thing not good to do is jump in because you feel it's the right thing to do, but it's not technically tick the boxes. Autumn, is the red good or bad for you? The red? Not sure what you mean by that. Shoaib, official, do you think we're considering up here? What's your bias for definitely bullish. Yeah, I believe there's a good chance we could end up, back above the current daily high, attacking the resistance towards the all-time high yet again, potentially. Doesn't mean it's going to happen today. I do believe there's a good chance it could even happen into this week. It's 4 hour looking fantastic. Wow. Price action even on the 4 hour would be playing out perfectly at the minute. Mentioned before, but it's just not the time frame I trade price action on unless it's the interruption entry. Speaking of, let's have a look. Is there... Wow, look at that. Wasn't on a stream for it irrespective, but look at that. That's what I mean. Someone asked me, Dean, what I like to see. This is why. The amount of times to see it happen on the high time frames. It's uncanny. Happens on daily regularly. You could have potential another confirmation upon the closure of this candle, but that's just under 3 hours away. Something maybe to keep an eye out on. Sam Sydney still coming in. Gold USA open and could, because again, the big bullion banks are trying to squash it down. You got your JP Morgans and that are so heavily short these metals. They would really do what they're doing it there, what they anything basically just to push the price back down, just to squash the price. But it's gonna be for no reason, and it's gonna fail. Split. I was just practicing on gold paper trading, caught both liquidity sweeps down and coming up. Nice one, Job. Fair enough. I don't trade fair value ups, but all good. Yeah, so again guys, the breakout rules in accordance to my rulebook, my course, and from more than 8 years now of trading, what I trust and know works extremely well is when we close, technically speaking, above the 50% of the zone. So from top to bottom of the zone, this is the zone. That to me is a strong closure. That to me suggests we've got momentum to the upside. If we broke on the following candle, we're likely going to continue bullish as long as we got a low wick. If we don't have that, the other rule for this particular entry is has to pop up to break the high straight off the bat, then pop back into the range below. Reason being is because if it pops straight up without low wick and broken above the resistance, if we were to pop back down, the likelihood is that we've perhaps grabbed some upside liquidity in order to come back down. That should be red, but you guys get the picture. So therefore, if we were to reject this range again and break our own high, then what we've likely done is once again just grab downside liquidity and into clean traffic to the left where we broke our own high. The probabilities of price continuing bullish are extremely high. That is one of my favorite entries. It got close to ticking that. It's being so technical with the rules, it didn't quite do it. Just didn't break the high of that candle. Got close to it, but not quite. Still worked, but again, I'm just being really strict by sticking to the rules. But we learn, you definitely learn something. Once again, giving away some free information. FX. Let's go. I'm trying to sell. What do I think? I think I should wish you good luck. That's what I think. Yeah, I don't see a sell, mate, personally. Arnold, half the people watching you don't know what they talk about. Sad. Yeah. Well, look, it is sad, but I suppose I'm assuming that most people here are here for a reason, not just for signals. Here for, you know, community, and also to perhaps learn a thing or two. I know some of you have been learning a lot because I've been getting messages from you, so that's a good thing. And again, I don't always say I'm not suggesting that what I do is the best way. It might not be suitable for everyone. Not everyone will get it, but it works for me. And if I can share a thing or two that might work for you guys, fantastic. But again, you guys, I encourage you to ask questions that will be of benefit, not just when can I buy, or can we sell now, or 157, you're waiting for pullback from buys. Fair enough. That's probably what I'd be waiting for as well. FX SCO. Not sure what to call you, but anyway. For me, nah, no sell at all. M75, 675, buy it. Limit at 45. Yeah, buy limits at the resistance aren't that bad as well. That's where I'd be looking for a buy limit. 42, 43, 37. Delayed interruption. Jared, your strategy rules. Help me, bro. Nice one. Happy to hear it. Michael, learning heaps, bro. I love the interruption count. Nice one, mate. So that's the thing. I've dropped some free information, guys. Some gold too, and you can, if you actually, you know, listen and watch carefully, you can learn quite a bit. And that's a cracking entry, that one. 157, no sells until the all-time high has been reached or break below 41.48. I mean, it's no sells until there is a confirmation, and we're very bullish structure. Everything is bullish. Less life. So is that the daily high and low marked out? Yep, basically. Technically the low is here, but this is the Asian Open until EU Open. Arnold, true. You're very good price action analysis, not blind entries. Patience. Yep, appreciate it, mate. Again, I know, you know, it's great if I can call trades for the stream, but I'm not pressured into it. If I don't, it's so be it. I move on. But yeah, this is what I do. G block Vel Vision, welcome to you. Your sale on Thursday was 1 pip away from TP, so I closed it on the reversal. Fair enough. As long as you got out with profit. M75 675. What am I in, mate? Physical silver. With no plan to sell it anytime soon. 157, you can also use fib retracement from a swing high and low, get that 50% zone for entry, you reckon? Yeah, I don't, that's not for me. That's not how I trade. Fib I use very differently. Fib I use to gauge the strength against a previous candle or candle within itself for a potential entry. You just have to watch the streams. That's another thing a lot of people would have learnt on the stream, so I'll just quickly go over it here. We've got example. So what this suggests to me is we're tapped into 4-hour support, level of liquidity. On the pushback or the bounce off that level, what has happened is price has formed resistance at a previous support, but it's formed a weak bearish closure here, and it's why I determine it to be a weak closure, because it's closed from top to bottom above the 0.382. So any closure above the 0.382 would suggest to me it's a weak candle closure. So therefore, if price on the following candle is to begin to, as long as it's got a low wick, begin to break the high of that candle, there is a high probability it would continue bullish, and that's exactly what it did do. It was not on the chart for that. So that's how I use the fib. I don't use it for an actual entry point. But it's fair enough. I mean, not saying it's a shit thing to do. If that's what you do and it works for you, by all means. Del, do you think it will be the higher high today, reach 43? So I'm not sure about today. Look, it could happen. Anything could happen. It sounds like it's way off, $120 away from the current level. But gold can do anything. There is some high impact news to come later. So mark we use 3.8 on previous M15. We're talking about here. I'm not too sure. Six up Sade. Nice, thank you. 157, fair enough. Yeah, again, we all use you know, everything slightly different in regards to fibs and that. Indicators. I mean, that's the only one I use basically, apart from this, but it's not, this doesn't give me any confirmation to enter. This gives me a general idea where we're at and what we used to often see, not as much of late. Just to use GJ as the example. Come into towards the London session, price would a lot of time be either breaking the high or the low, pulling back to retest it, where it's either going to shit the bed and pop back below it, and you could get an entry down, or continue above it, retest it and continue above it, where you could get a potential entry up. So that's why I like to have that indicator present, but it doesn't tell me that we're valid or not, basically. Let's go on 5 minute here. Yeah, we're looking really bullish. It's just missing my confirmations to enter. Previous M15, my method. And the only pause I can see is this one. Oh, as far as how far this pulled back, if you're talking in that regard, if that's the case, I wouldn't be using it here though. So it's of no relevance. This potential entry would have been just based on pure price action. All right, team. Well, I'm going to get going because I'm definitely not getting an entry. I need to let it reset. Entry is above the high here. I'm not going to take it without it resetting. So what I want to see is similar to what I mentioned here, similar to this illustration. If price was to approach this resistance at the current daily high, especially coming from the level it's come from, I want it to trigger in some sellers prior to it, trap those sellers, close above it, move into the clean traffic above. Wonky arrow, but you guys get the picture, and that's what I'd be looking for. So buys above 42.56.50 above the current daily high, but I want to trigger in some sellers. Otherwise, what I'd be looking for is the pullback to the previous level of resistance with a potential buy option. The interruption delayed entry is still valid at 42.43. Well, it just depends what highest point that this particular bearish candle is on your broker chart. It's still technically valid. Your stop loss would have to be below low that candle, and otherwise just wait and see how price reacts to the previous levels for a potential buy, or even this level as well. That's how I personally will be playing gold. I would not be looking to sell it. To my team, I will catch you guys probably about 45 minutes from now. I'll keep you guys posted. Laura, I'll just end the call for you. Might catch you after if you're about. YouTube, TikTok, appreciate the support. I'll be back tomorrow, same time roughly. Trade safe, don't do anything stupid. First day of the week, things could get a little bit volatile later, guys. I'm expecting fireworks at some point after what happened last Friday. So take care, guys. Trade safe, have a good one, and until tomorrow, peace, my friends. Bye, team.